Hello, dear students. Let us understand about production concept, which supports for the decision-making process under economics. So, we need to know what is production. See, production is basically it is a process of converting inputs into outputs that we all know, right? So that is what given here. So inputs into finished goods or else services, okay, where that literally it satisfies the human wants. Okay, for that purpose, production is happening all over the world, right? So it doesn't mean that production is only for manufacturing sectors. Not like that. It is even for it is for services also. Okay. So that is mentioned here as service creation or value addition operation strategy. So it is not limited only to manufacturing. Okay. So next is production literally it helps to take decisions on capacity. So capacity planning and then cost pricing, resource usages, and then competitiveness. For all these things, if we need to take some careful decision for all these things, definitely production supports a lot. So meaning of production, yes, it refers to creating utility. Utility is something that our satisfaction uh, where we need some product or else service, we require some service for that, how much satisfaction we can able to get from that so and so product or else service. Okay. And that is what creating utility. And yes, by transforming resources, by converting resources like basic resources, we all know land, labor, capital, and technology. Okay. So form utility, place, time, and service utility are different. There are also different utilities like this. So form, yes, just changing the form from raw cotton to clothes. So we are just converting into some usable form. Okay. And next is what place utility. Of course, place means transportation. We can say as logistics is a very good example. So moving goods from one place to another, where buyers actually need that product. Okay, buyers can get from them. And next is what time utility. Time utility is storing our inventories. If at all it is perishable goods means we cannot store that for a long period of time. It has certain time period, right? So that is what time utility. So we are just storing goods in a warehouse for certain period of time. And next is what service utility. So service utility is again, it is purely intangible. Okay. Educational sector, banking sector, healthcare, all these things comes under service sectors. Okay. And production as an economic activity. See, actually it generates output for market. Yes, input is what converting into output. Yes, output creates some value. And next is what? Effective utilization of scarce resources. Scarce resources is actually we are not having much enough resources, land or labor, capital, whatever. So how we are effectively utilizing all those resources. Next is drives employment. Yes, only if production happens, definitely employment occurs. And next is what? If employment occurs, definitely income generation will circulate inside the nation. Okay. And so service sectors also, IT or banking or tourism, whatever we take, everywhere it happens as an economic activity. Even that is what you can see here as a diagram. So production, distribution, exchange, consumption, all these things are different economical activity, right? And next is types of production, primary, secondary, tertiary, and knowledge production. So primary, this is what a major thing, we can definitely say, agriculture, mining is a primary production. So without this, we cannot survive, right? And next is what? So secondary production is something like, manufacturing thing and then processing, all these things comes under, next level of production. And tertiary is all services, okay? Comes under tertiary. And knowledge production is next. It is like the fourth stage of production, all research related things like R&D, research and development, innovation, digital assets are the next level. Okay. So a real example is also given over here, like Apple produces physical products. Yes. Also digital services providing and knowledge innovations also available. So you can see in one single product, so many, different productions are available. Okay, it includes primary or secondary, tertiary knowledge. So any one product, it includes different levels of production. The next is importance of production in business decisions. So why it is important? How much to produce? We should have that knowledge. Which inputs to use? Yes. What are all the raw materials that we are going to use for doing the production? And next is what technology level is optimal. Okay. And next is what is the most efficient, cost efficient method? How your cost plays a very vital role over here, because each and every single product what we are purchasing from our suppliers, it includes cost. Everywhere cost is what plays a very important role. So in this scenario, how we are going to use that cost? So should production be expanded, outsourced, or automated? There are so many questions like this. Okay, so these are all the different things where it improve to take some good decision on profitability, competitiveness, or customer satisfaction. For all these things, which is the major factor means, of course, production. So production and cost efficiency, yes, economies of scale. If you are doing, if there is efficient production is happening in so and so organization, okay, so economies of scale will be there. Economies of scale, like, cost of producing single product, that cost will be reduced. That is economies of scale. Okay, and then specialization and a division of labor, yes, better utilization, resource allocation, and then waste reduction, use of advanced technology. All these things are possible if there is efficient production. And next, production and pricing decision, in the sense like selling price, that decision, profit margin we can decide, break even point, value proportion, all these things we can able to, it includes everything. Production cost means it includes everything. Based on all these things, that product pricing will be fixed, right? And next is production and quality decision, like, it depends upon type of products, technology, labor, and then process design, monitoring and control. See, all these things, quality depends on all these factors. Okay, if you are not having technology, quality will affect. If you are not having skilled labor, again quality will affect. So all these things are interconnected with each other. And next is capacity planning. So how much capacity that we need, first thing. We should get clarity on that. Should they expand or reduce capacity? Yes. What level of automation is ideal? So all these things are very, very important. Capacity, pricing related decision, and then quality, and then capacity, all these things, which is what it is interdependent, or it is dependent on production. So underutilization and overutilization. So under, yes, waste and high cost will be there definitely. And over is something that if there is delay in production, if it is inefficiencies, what happening inside the production process, or work effect, whatever. Okay, so this is what work production and capacity planning, this connection. Okay, so thank you all.